This summer, try the new Strato Frappuccino blended beverage at Starbucks. It's the classic blended iced coffee you know and love, now topped with a creamy layer of handcrafted brown sugar cold foam. Available for a limited time. Your Strato Frappuccino is ready at Starbucks.
How many discounts does USAA Auto Insurance offer? Too many to say here. Multi-vehicle discount, safe driver discount, new vehicle discount, storage discount, legacy.
How many discounts will you stack up? Visit USAA.com/auto discounts. Restrictions apply.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back to Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network, and you can follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/@RamsUpPodcast. I'm your host, Mark. I'll be joined often by my football guru, Ian, along with a bunch of other friends of the show on occasion. Let's get to it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Going to get through some news and notes this episode, and then I'm going to dive into something that I've been meaning to do for quite a while, a little project I've undertaken, and that is a subjective analysis of Rams drafts. How do we look at these drafts? How do we evaluate them? And I've been tweaking a mathematical approach, a subjective approach, mixed in with some objective opinions, I guess you could say. But I'll share a couple of things, just that my first pass through this, going to nerd out on you. I'm sorry. That's what happens in these doldrums, these slow times in between OTAs and mini camps and the actual training camp. But hopefully we'll have some fun with that. Get through some news and notes. Cody Benjamin of CBS Sports ranking the NFL coaches. And if you want your son to grow up and be a coach, an NFL coach, don't name him Brian. The bottom 3 coaches in his rankings, Brian Dable, Brian Schottenheimer, and Brian Callahan. And Sean McVay, of course, comes in at number 2 behind Andy Reid. That seems to be a pattern here we're seeing with McVay. And, he made the same comment that I did when Ian and I discussed this recently. Andy Reid may be a better coach. Pete Carroll may be even a better coach, probably not. But if you were going to pick any coach to lead your franchise tomorrow morning, it'd probably be Sean McVay. He has to be at the top of the list. So young, the ability to build the culture. And, Cody Benjamin talked about all these things in his article. 2 Rams made the all 25 and under team. Puka Nacua and Jared Verse made perfect sense. And then Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, he's been doing these player rankings. Well, actually, what he's been doing is polling scouts, executives, coaches, and such. And Matthew Stafford came in at number 6, and he said the thing about Stafford is, I didn't know this, last year, 10 TDs and 0 interceptions out of play action. That was just one of the things he highlighted. Most of the other things he talked about, we already know, us being Ram fans, how tough he is, how clutch he is, and how aggressive he is, willingness to try these impossible throws and in most cases complete them. But this is the same assessment that resulted in Kyren Williams being out of the top 15 as far as running backs go. So what do we think about this? I'm not so sure. Jared Verse, by the way, was ranked as the number 10 pass rusher. And hey, trouble up north. Jawan Jennings seeking a new contract. He got an extension last year, $7.5 million, but I guess he's unhappy, wants more money or wants to be traded. So we'll see what happens there. And the Bleacher Report's Mo Motan, I think that's how you pronounce it, came out of the blue on this one. He's saying the Rams should sign Amari Cooper. And I'm going to say a big thumbs down on that idea. I mean, we've got Devontae Adams, an elder statesman already. We got a bevy of some really young, promising wide receivers. We don't need to bring in Amari Cooper. That's how I feel about it. And I want to have another word on Jared Goff. And, I think I sense that a lot of listeners and viewers disagreed with me on my the nice things I had to say about Jared Goff and his wife. And LeVar Arrington, the former Redskin and Giants linebacker, he was having none of Jared Goff either, saying basically calling him soft. It's like, hey, Jared, we all get blindsided. Every player at every position at some point in their career is going to get blindsided. That's the nature of the business. So LeVar Arrington probably echoing how I suspect a lot of Ram fans feel, and fair enough. And Pro Football Focus had a 2016 redraft. That was the year we selected Jared Goff, of course, back to Goff. And they had the Rams selecting Dak Prescott. And I'm not a big fan of that. Given that the Rams needed a quarterback out of that draft, the choices were Goff, Carson Wentz at the top of the draft. Paxton Lynch went later. It was actually a really poor draft for quarterbacks. Some of the other guys in that draft, Christian Hackenberg, Jacoby Brissett, Cody Kessler, Connor Cook, Dak Prescott. This is the order they went. Cardell Jones, Kevin Hogan out of Stanford, Nate Sudfeld. He was the butt of some jokes a couple of years back, but he did a lot better than most of these other guys. Jake Ruddock, Brandon Allen, spent some time with the Rams, Jeff Driscoll, and Brandon Dowdy. Those were the drafted quarterbacks that year at the top, Goff and Wentz. Now, if it had been me, I would have selected Jalen Ramsey and try to find another quarterback later and draft one of these guys later. I don't know. Not a lot of pretty slim pickings in the quarterback group. And maybe Dak Prescott would have been the best, but first overall pick, yeah. And maybe working with Sean McVay, maybe they could have found the promised land together. I'm not sure. So it is episode 780, and I was going to talk about a player who wore number 80. I am going to talk about a player who wore number 80, and that is Henry Ellard. And, I was looking into Henry Ellard, rounded up some data on him, and that's what gave me the idea of throwing that poll out there that's on the YouTube channel right now. Who is the greatest Fresno State Bulldog? Because Henry Ellard out of Fresno State, as was Devontae Adams. And, Devontae Adams got to Fresno State right after Paul George, the great basketball player from Palmdale, Knight High School in Palmdale. And by the way, no one's given Paul George any love, but as my special assistant will tell you, one of the most underrated, underappreciated NBA players of the past 10 years or so. So Paul George moves on from Fresno State. The next season, Devontae Adams football shows up. And then, of course, Aaron Judge also went to Fresno State. Pretty impressive set of alumni there, 4 guys, and can only have 4 answers in a poll, so no Derek or David Carr. Sorry. But Henry Ellard, back to Henry Ellard, man, what a great wide receiver. 5'11", 180 pounds, a second-round pick in 1983 by the Rams, Fresno State, of course, 2-time first-team All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler, and the NFL receiving yardage leader in 1988, and 3rd all-time in Rams receiving yardage, 9,761 yards, right behind Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt. And also, as someone mentioned on the YouTube channel in the comment section, attached to that poll, a great punt returner as well. And just another example it's just crazy how the Rams wide receivers are just a classy bunch from their entire history. It's crazy how many prima donna great wide receivers there are across the NFL. And then you got a franchise like the Rams who probably have the greatest wide receiver tradition in the National Football League, at least close to the top, and really not a single prima donna among them. Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, Cooper Kupp, Henry Ellard, Tom Fears, Elroy Crazy Legs Hirsch, Jack Snow, Puka Nakua, Flipper Anderson. It's just crazy. It's really strange how that has worked out for this franchise. No knuckleheads here with our Los Angeles Rams at the wide receiver position.
This episode is brought to you by Polestar. There's only one true way to experience the all-electric luxury SUV Polestar 3, and that's to take a test drive. It can go from 0 to 60 in as little as 4.8 seconds with the dynamic handling of a sports car. But to truly understand how it commands the road, you need to be behind the wheel. Up to 350 miles of range, the 3D surround sound system by Bowers & Wilkins. It's all something you have to experience to believe. So book your test drive for Polestar 3 today at Polestar.com.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
Hey, I'm Mark Ronson.
And I'm Ray.
To celebrate 150 years of Audemars Piguet, we've teamed up to create something timeless.
A tribute to legacy, rhythm, and craft, with a very special connection at its heart.
A soundscape from two cities, two perspectives, and one shared vision.
Introducing our brand new song, Suzanne.
Choosing a bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drink that's all flavor and just 100 calories? Easy. Choosing between creamy vanilla, double chocolate, and sea salt caramel flavors? A little harder. Try the delicious new Starbucks Frappuccino light drinks. Look for them wherever you buy groceries. Start with Starbucks coffee.
Okay, now I'm going to get into this draft assessment, and I'm going to nerd out on you here. This is maybe difficult to follow. I'll try to explain it as best I can, and it is a work in progress. So please go easy on me if you have issues with how I did this, and comment away and tell me how I can improve it. So what I wanted to do first, and it's not showing on the screen here, but I wanted to get the expected value out of for each player. And I came up with a formula, and the formula, a mathematical formula using their draft position, the round they were selected, and what you would expect to get in return for that draft position. So, in the highest number you could get, the first overall pick, is in the low 300s, and then all the way down to Mr. Irrelevant and the points that is worth. Then the second part of that is the actual value you get. And so I have a demonstration here of what that might look like. An all-pro player, someone like Aaron Donald, would be 300 points. Actually, you'd probably give him some bonus points, maybe 320. 200 points. And this aligns with the expected value that you'd see. 200 points for a very good player, someone like Quentin Lake. 150 points for just your typical productive player. I pulled up Lance Kendricks as an example, and there are a bunch of examples like that. And then 100 points for a guy that got on the field a little bit, but easily forgotten, someone like Zach Stacy. And this, granted, is the subjective part of it. This is where your opinion comes in. But that's why I'm pairing this mathematical approach with, I think, who's better qualified, the subjective side for Rams players than someone like me, or maybe some of you listeners, how many points you would award as the actual value for some of these guys, and then 0 points for someone that was drafted and never saw any action. So again, pairing the expected value, which is mathematical based, and then dividing that by the actual value, it gives you a ratio, right? You get a ratio. So if you're getting more actual value than expected value, you're going to number over 1, and that would reflect a very good return on your investment. And just be aware that it's very difficult to do that because you're going to have misses every year. It's hard. It's like, just like baseball, you go 0 for 4. It takes a little bit of time to get your average back up to 500, right? And it's the same thing in this formulaic approach. You have a total miss, and you got to have a couple solid hits to make up for it. So what I did is I looked at the last 3 seasons, last 3 drafts, not counting 2025. It's too early to have anything to say about that. And this 2022 draft, we actually did very well. One of our best drafts. The ratio is over 1.15. We had an expected value of 850 and an actual value of 980. And what's most impressive about this is that was to almost zeroing out on our top pick, Logan Bruss. The mathematical formula, which I am not going to share, is proprietary, and I'm going to be tweaking it. I want to get this right. I want to share it with some mathematician friends of mine, some analytical whizzes, and see if we can tweak this even better. But the expected value for Logan Bruss was 204, and I gave him a 50 as actual value because he did get on the field a little bit. You can't give him a 0, but still not a very good return. And then you got guys like Kobe Durant. He outplayed his draft position. Kyron Williams outplayed his draft position. Quentin Lake seriously outplayed his draft position, a 6th round pick, and he is a good player. Darion Kendrick as a 6th rounder, I think he's slightly outplayed his draft position, 6th round. And, if not for the injury, maybe I'm being a little generous there, but still, you get my point. He is certainly not a 0. And then you got Daniel Hardy, Russ Easton, AJ Curry. So the expected value, 850, the actual value, 980. So the ratio over 1 on your return. So a pretty good result in Les Snead's 2022 draft. Now we go to 2023, and it's actually slightly worse, not by much, but still very close to 1, 0.95 ratio. And trust me, that is very good. And what happened in this draft is just a lot of hits. But when you have that many picks, you also have more likely it's also more likely that you're going to miss on a few of them. O'Shawn Mathis, Zach Evans, Jason Taylor, Trey Hodges-Tomlinson. So those guys kind of drag you down a little bit. But overall, a pretty darn good draft. Guys like Steve Avila and Byron Young outplayed his draft position. Kobe Turner, big time 3rd rounder, playing like a late 1st rounder, in my opinion. Stetson Bennett's another guy that's hurt this draft. Nick Hampton hurt it a little bit. But, a lot of guys that are contributing, and the end result, close to a 1 ratio, 0.95. Then we get to 2024, and it's slightly better. And you probably thought it was going to be even better than the previous year. But Casey Leviston, not much happening there yet. KT Leviston, I should say. And Brennan Jackson, the same thing. But overall, still a very good draft, and very close to a 1-to-1 ratio between expected value and actual value. So you see where I'm going with this. Sorry to nerd out on you, but this is, I love this stuff actually. And if I could perfect this, I may just try to do that. Probably need some outside help though to make sure I get it right. Now let's look over all of Les Snead's drafts from 2012 through 2024 and the ratios year by year. 2012 0.66, 2013, 0.54, 2014, 0.69, 2015, 0.59. So not doing very well, but then it picks up after that. 2 years back-to-back 0.74, 0.79, and then a 0.92 and a 0.91. 2 downticks, 0.65 and 0.68. And then the last 3 years, the Rams have really improved. And maybe it's a testament to them tweaking their analytics and improving at what they do. And you also have to acknowledge that some of these numbers are going to change. Now, the recent numbers are going to change. I think the 2012 through 2020, 2021 are probably pretty solid. Those numbers probably aren't going to change. I go back and revisit this on a regular basis and tweak the numbers up and down. And I'll be doing that with some of the guys we've drafted the last couple of years, right? But the biggest takeaway for me is these last 3 years, Les Snead and Sean McVay have really nailed it and actually slowly improving. I get it a slight downtick from 1.15 to 0.95, but taking it little windows here, the previous 3 years, nothing too impressive. And then the last 3 looking solid. And we all knew that. This is a team that has drafted really, really well over the last few years and continue to get it done. The front office, and, we've talked about this before, the Rams do everything right. It seems like every facet of their organization is a well-oiled machine. And I think this data demonstrates that more. Another episode, I'll get into the actual formula, perhaps, after I perfect it a little bit, how I come up with that expected value. And you'll see how the number 1 pick is in the low 300s, and that number 279th pick, not quite so much. It's interesting stuff. I love to try to mix subjective with objective and see what we can come up with. That's my first try. Putting it all out there for you guys to digest. Let me know what you think, and we'll revisit this sometime out here from Rams Up.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love, starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
That's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.